I don't give a shit if that's your son.
Okay.
Period. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I'll say whatever I want to your kid.
Then you can.
But if you don't like it, get out of my face. That's how it starts. Bobby, I could do this all day.
Because that's how you know. That's how you act. No. I don't have to prove that I can beat up some dad.
No, but I'm going to make you prove it. Go ahead, come get some.
No, you won't.
Come get
walk
some.
over there. I'm completely
Why don't you walk over there? Be a coward, walk over there. You got something to say?
All right.
I didn't think you had something to say. Beat it. Beat it. Get moving now. That's how this all starts.
I've been spending time in the dojo, doing all the things that they won't show. No spotlights on me, no photos, becoming the king on the low low.
Young kid from New Jersey, Anthony Knox, 3-time state champ already. And from what I gather, Frank Yeager talked about it a little bit. He's in Jersey. He talked about also too, some of the news media sources were saying, obviously, Anthony Knox is 3-time state champ. Just won his match. People up in the stands were chirping. Somebody said something to his mom. Dad stood up for his wife. Basically turned. Somebody there shoved dad. Dad went flying, ended up on the ground or in the stands somehow. Big fight broke out. It wasn't just his dad fighting with someone else. It was a group of their team versus their team parents and started going out. Benches cleared. Anthony Knox ran off the mat, basically ran up and started sticking up for his dad. And New Jersey State Athletic Commission, New Jersey State School District basically said he's going to be suspended for the year. They just now overturned it, basically saying he'll be able to wrestle. Now that a bunch of video surveillance has come out showing exactly what happened, that he'll be able to wrestle. People thought he just ran up in the stand, started punching people when that wasn't the case. It was basically ran up there to try to help his family get out of there and separate things and whatever. But I guess as a father, isn't that what you want from your kid? I want my kid to, like, if he sees
you're
me
taking it from that standpoint.
If he sees me getting shoved down and I'm older and he sees his mom being shoved down, like, what do you want your kid to do?
He does get to wrestle, right?
Yeah, he does get to wrestle. Yeah.
Okay.
They had taken it away for about 3-4 days.
Okay.
Or something like that. And then now they just came back and said that he'll be allowed to wrestle.
You're looking at a standpoint of his son going to do what he had to do. I'm looking at it from the parents' standpoint, and I think the parents are in the wrong, period.
Which parents?
The parents that were fighting. His parents that were fighting. I don't care what the situation is, and this is why. And this is why I'm thinking of it. And this is why I'm saying this. Because, okay, here, let's throw it out. This is why I'm throwing it out. You can't defend one father and then not defend the other. And when we talk about Bronny, okay, now parents doing what the parents have to do. When you get great, you're going to have critics. He has critics. So his dad should be the better man up in the stands to not even let anything. I don't care if anybody's chirping behind me about my kids. You got to let kids know that if you become great, you're gonna gain critics all the way through, and there's gonna be more and more. The better you get, the more critics you're gonna get. So if you're gonna have to answer to all those people, and you want to try to fight those people, then you're gonna be fighting forever. Sometimes you need to just let that stuff go and say, you know what, I don't care, because obviously the kid just won the match. So if those parents are saying something, they're haters. So it's like I would laugh. I would bring my son up and be like, yeah, they didn't like the fact that you just beat up their boy, and that's what it is. Once you get better, people are going to be critics. They were reacting to stuff up in the stands, and they potentially ruined their son's chance of having legacy, doing something great, doing something that a very small fraction of people that ever done, because they're acting like children up in the stands. Kid side, sure, I don't care what the kid does. If he runs up there and fights, sure, cool. You're saving your parents. You're jumping in. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Whatever. The parents, you shouldn't have had that happen up in the stands. You should have had a little bit more composure. There's no reason. I'm not fighting any parents in the stands. I know some people will, but I'm not fighting any parents in the stands, because I know how wrestling parents are. I know how parents are across the board with their kids in sports.
Bro,
those parents need to look. Parents, y'all need to chill out up in the stands. And let the kids play the sport and stay out of it.
No, here's the thing. You can talk to your kid. You can talk to anybody on your kid's team. Do not talk to my kid, or I'm gonna slap the taste out your mouth. Do not talk to my kid. Like, there's no reason for you to be talking to my kid. Tell me one reason why you should be talking to my kid while my kid's competing. Tell me one.
I agree with you. But
there you go. That's it.
I agree with you, but you don't have to react to it.
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay, you
do not talk to my kid.
So LeBron should be in there getting people fired in the NBA, getting people kicked out of the NBA because he has that power. And these guys are making their opinions on his son.
You didn't just see the article about how he had some news articles silenced because they were saying bad things about his son?
He should. But he's not using all the power that he could.
I thought you just said
no. I'm saying the guys on his.
I thought
team.
you said parents shouldn't do that.
No, I'm saying
should be let them say what they want to say.
You can't be fighting everyone because if Bron that was one news article that they say potentially did it. But if he wanted to, the amount of power that he has in the NBA, he can have people. Boom, he can have like podcasts shut off. He can have any of these things shut off because he has that much power, and he's not doing it. People are dogging on Bronny on a daily basis.
No one cares, man. No. Here's the thing. Remember, like no one. There's certain times where we've been in fight organizations where people just don't care about the fighter. Like I think personally they're making more about the Bronny situation than it is. No one cares about Bronny. I don't tune into the Lakers to watch Bronny. I can tell you that. Like no one cares. Like
why are these people having articles where they
articles will get you to talk about it? That's it. No one cares.
In the podcast and all these other things.
No one cares.
All these people that are doing it, obviously they care because they're talking about it.
No, they just know that people like you are going to react to it. I don't. Anytime I get him. Why?
Because I know how it's like to be him.
No, you were. I'm sorry. Weren't you a 4-time state champ?
Okay,
but
a 3-time national champion.
Okay.
It wasn't no because
lonely state, my bad. National,
okay,
my bad.
Okay. Then look at this. When I went to MMA, I was getting like beat down by the MMA guys because some guy went to a gym. They weren't looking at the fact that this guy had a martial arts experience coming into MMA. They were looking at it like, oh, this is a pro wrestler, and I was taking all that stuff, and I just had to like not listen to him. There was so much people talking trash on me. Oh, what's he doing over here? Because he's a big pro wrestler. Oh, all this stuff. And I was like, bro, you don't know that I've been doing this for a long time. And I'm saying it's like I had to deal with critics all the way through no matter what you do. That's why I say let people do what they want to do and get as high as you can. And then the critics, you can't listen to critics. So the
wrestler doesn't have a problem with it, but you're talking about the dad. The dads are more attached to their kids. You know that.
He needs to chill.
So the next time Miles has a track meet, I'm gonna just trash talk him as he's running around the track.
That's fine.
That's
look. I'll even have Miles tell you. Miles knows. I told them. I said, Miles, people are going to hate on you no matter what. As you get better, you will have people. We've talked about this.
But Miles is not the problem. Like this kid, Anthony Knox, is not the problem. It's how do you handle it? You think if some dude's cursing at your son, calling him
you're not calling him a piece of shit. The kid's a 4-time state champion. They are jealous of him.
Okay, so the things that come out of their mouth, you don't think people say stuff like that?
Yes, they say stuff.
And if they say that about your boy while he's on the track, what do you think? And they're standing like basically right over your ear. Man, look at that kid, piece of shit. Like,
okay, I'll tell you this story that I dealt with personally, and I'll tell you how I respond to it. When I was in high school, I was wrestling this tournament, and we were in Kansas. All those little country boys over here. One of my best friends was up in the stands, and these people were out there saying, "Oh, my son's gonna kill that nigger," and all this stuff. Like it was really bad.
Oh, hard
and
R.
My buddy came over there, and he was like, "Bear, you should have heard what they were saying about you." And I had his son in the finals. I beat this kid so friggin' bad. And I knew the parents were there, and I did not even respond to it at all whatsoever. And I've told my kids stories like this. It's happened to me several times before. And I tell them, if you respond to all the idiots out there that have an opinion of something that you do, you'll be fighting forever. I can tell you more and more stories. There was a story where me and my friend, we were in Louisville. This is when we first got on TV. I was a guy that was about to get called up. We were at like the grocery store. I'm standing there with this kid. It's a white kid. We just finished going from the gym. We were going to pick up some meat from the little butcher thing, and then we were going to go and barbecue and just chill that evening. We went over there. We walk up to the thing. He's over there. He's like, "Yeah, can I get one of these steaks?" Wraps it up, boom, boom, puts it down there. And the guy goes, "Anyone else?" I'm standing right next to him. And I was like, "Yeah, can I get one of those salmon like this?" And he goes, "Anybody else?" And he's just looking over my head like that. Okay. And then the manager of the store comes walking in. We don't even really know. We don't know who this guy is. This guy goes, "Oh my God, Bobby Lashley," and stuff like this. This is the general manager of the store. The guy over there, I look back at him. He's like, "Oh shit." And he was like, "Oh man, I saw you guys on TV. I'm a huge fan. I saw you just got moved up." Blah, blah. He's talking to me and everything like that. He said, "What are you guys doing here?" And I was like, "Oh, we were just gonna get some seafood, some meat from this thing." We turned over there. He goes, "Oh yeah, man, whatever you guys need." Well, I turned around and then I was like, "Yeah, can I get some salmon right here?" He wrapped it up. I could have buried him.
You should have said, "Do you see me now?"
I could see me now. I could have buried him.
Now?
And I've told my kids that story, and I've told them several stories that I had with it. And I said, "Can I tell the WWE?" No, I can't. But basically, I was in WWE for a while, and I left for a good amount of time. There's never been an article why Bobby left, anything like this. Man, if I run into situations like this, I don't react to it. I could care less.
Okay.
I don't care. If I'm in the stands and people talking trash about Miles, I'll be like, "Hey, that's my son." Boom. Whatever.
But Bobby, you're taking it from your point of view in terms of them talking about you. You're the athlete. Like, of course, you know how good you are. Like, it's harder for your family to keep their mouth shut when people are talking about you. That's what my point is.
What do you think that they were saying about a kid that was about to win his 4th state championship? They weren't saying he sucked.
I mean, they could have been.
If they said he sucked,
No, but I think
I'd be like, "You mean the guy that's undefeated in high school that's about to win his 4th?"
But I mean, no, let's be honest though. Let's be honest.
What has your kid done?
When they know that the kid is that good and they know that he's having success, they're saying worse things than he sucks.
Sure.
Of course. And so then as a mother and a father being right there, what do you think that mother's going to turn around and, "Hey, that's my son"? You just said, "I'm going to turn around and say that's my son." That's how it starts.
But it doesn't have to escalate.
I don't give a shit if that's your son.
Okay.
Period. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I'll say whatever I want to your kid.
Then you can.
Okay.
But where's
if
your kid?
you don't like it, get out of my face. That's how it starts. Bobby, I could do this all day.
Because that's how you know. That's how you act.
No. I'm the kid. I'm completely silent on the sidelines.
It's our responsibility to be civil. I don't have to prove that I can beat up some dad.
No, but I'm going to make you prove it. Go ahead, come get some.
No, you won't.
Come get
walk
some.
over there. I'm completely
Why don't
okay
you
with
walk
it.
over there? Be a coward. Walk over there.
I
You got
will.
something to say?
All right.
I didn't think you had something to say. Beat it.
Okay.
Beat it. Get moving now. That's how this all starts. Hey, you're in my way. Get your ass out of here. Move. That's exactly how it starts. See, Bobby got quiet all of a sudden. The reality
That's
is.
what I do.
But no.
I'm showing you how to solve the situation.
You wouldn't be able to.
I just drank my
Bobby,
juice.
you wouldn't be able to.
See, what happened when I did that?
You wouldn't be able to,
What
Bobby.
happened when I did that?
Oh, no, I could keep going.
What did he do when I did that?
I could keep going, but it's a
He stopped and
podcast.
then
We're
he
trying to get
moved on.
content out of this.
I gotta.
I can understand. You're saying a situation that you know it was not like. You know it was like something.
Have you not been to New Jersey?
Yes, I've been
Have
to
you
New
not met those
Jersey.
people?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
there you go.
But they're not gonna fight me for no reason.
Wrestling parent. Let me give you an example.
I know wrestling
I wrestled in North Idaho in high school. There's a place up there with the it called Sandpoint. Sandpoint there had really good wrestlers at the time. Literally people that did not have kids that went to school there. They were went to school there 20 years before that. The wrestling program was one of the best in the country. I kid you not, they would come while kids were warming up, high school kids, and they would shoot little needles through a straw at them while they were jumping rope. They didn't even have kids there.
Okay, that's a crime.
That's the kind of dude. Wrestling parents are a little.
That's a crime.
It is a crime.
If they do that, okay, green light, what's mess? But that's a crime. That's like you saying going up there punch Naomi. And
So
like,
guys
right,
be jumping rope. Guys be jumping rope right before they went onto the mats.
Okay, that's
shooting those little tiny needles, like those little sewing needles. Shooting those at kids jumping rope.
Okay, that's
they didn't even have kids there.
If you want a reason for an ass whooping, okay, that's a reason.
But that is different.
No. You don't think you get parents.
There's a difference between whatever somebody's saying versus in the 2A community. They talk about this a lot.
Look, there's something just happened here recently. I want to say it was in Arizona. Kid was running on a soccer field. Parent got mad because the kid took the ball away from his kid. He literally grabbed the kid as he ran by in a headlock and threw him down on the ground.
That's also different than talking shit.
But he wants to fight, so get him a fight.
No, I'm just
get him a fight.
He was
posting on
Bobby.
It's a
Bobby,
comeback.
let's be honest.
I understand when
if somebody is if it's your wife, do you think Bailey would keep her mouth shut? If someone was talking trash about Kenny and Ollie. Like, it's just, you think Bailey would turn around and be like, hey, that's my kid?
Yeah,
like, can you not?
I mean,
and that puts you in a
More
position.
importantly,
but
more
see-
importantly, are you going to throw a punch?
no, you can't. I that's not the right place. Maybe you take it outside, or you can. But no. But I mean, look, he almost
It's true.
No, but you're missing the point. He almost hurt his kid's career.
Yes, that's
Okay,
what I'm
you're
saying.
missing the
I
point.
get
You don't
that
have
point.
restraint.
No, here, I get that point. But look,
You can't be.
if your wife turns and says, hey, that's my kid, and the guy goes, hey, why don't you shut up, bitch? Like, then what do you say?
I mean, but you're creating these. I mean,
You still walk away.
But what do you think?
wants-
What do you
he-
think these people said that made
Josh,
it erupt?
realistically, you're okay. Fighting solves everything. We talked about that in one of our last episodes. So,
but fighting
I
means different things.
Yeah, it
though.
does.
yes, and I think in a situation like this, no, that is everybody looks bad in that situation. Everyone.
You're setting
I'm
a
not
bad
gonna
example
be in
for
the
the
stands
kids. You're
fighting.
jeopardizing your kid's career.
Yes.
He almost cost his kid a chance at making history, right?
Yes. You can't fight in situations like that. You have to be able to like pull yourself out of that situation. Now, however it is.
Hey, Dion
If
ain't
you
fighting
have so
people.
much, if you have so much in here that you
Dion's not
that-
fighting people that
Uh,
he's not
Hey,
fighting
wait,
them.
No, but here's the thing. Remember when Dion came out? I think it was Colorado State coach or whatever, and they went to shake hands, and the kid put his hand on his chest, and then he basically shoved him back. So give it a little bit of escalation. If more words
I
have
know,
been
but he's not
exchanged,
fighting, but he's getting way more. Bronny's getting way more. There's certain kids out there
Yeah.
that are getting way more. The Ball kids,
You-
LeVar Ball's kids,
Yes,
his
they
whole
take it-
family,
yes.
they get so much crap.
If you wanna
they're
be-
not there punching every dude that.
what I'm saying though is that
if you want to be on top, you've got to
Okay.
understand the critics are going to come.
what I'm saying is that those parents are not sitting up in the stands where people are basically over
do
their
you know?
shoulder.
You don't think
because
one-
they're always sitting in a sky booth or they're always sitting down by
but
the.
throughout high school,
Oh, I mean, like I don't-
they went through that already.
Yeah.
They're like, man, we're above this. We're
Yes, you have to in those situations, man. It's nobody talks trash on the guy that's not winning. Like, look at this kid.
No, I understand these things.
What in the world can you be saying to this kid that's about to win his 4th state championship? Obviously, he's shown dominant in New Jersey too. He's got to be a badass.
Yeah, Jersey's got some
Period.
great wrestlers.
He's got to be
man.
a
I'm just
badass.
saying,
So-
it could go really bad. I mean, let's say
It did go really bad.
Right, no, but-
they cleared the benches.
No,
He could-
it could have gotten worse. There are people getting shot at football
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
There are people like, what if you got arrested and charged with assault
He
for
could-
when
he
you
could've
could have
lost-
easily? At that point, I'd like to think you would have said, or you would say, "Man, I kind of made the. What did I do?
Yeah.
You know, this
He
is
could've
not
lost
the
his
right answer.
scholarship.
I'm in jail. My kid can't
okay,
do what he wants
Here's
to
the thing:
do.
you guys are putting it on his dad. But I mean, like, let's be honest. What if
He's
the dad?
the adult.
Oh, no. But let's just say this: the dad turns around and says, "Hey, man, like, let's not talk to my wife that way," and then he gets shoved down. You guys are going right to blaming the victim.
Well, no.
You guys
no,
are
no,
victim
no, no,
blamers.
No. You know it wasn't that situation.
Wait,
You know it
no,
didn't-
wait. We don't know. I
Yeah,
just gave
then
you another
Josh,
scenario where
but-
he said this,
but-
this, and this. You said, well, you don't know if he said that.
Okay.
You can't take it both ways.
Okay. Then here, I'll let you be right. If so there was a lady standing behind his wife and turned around and punched her in the ear. So he got up and grabbed the guy, and then he got shoved down. Sure. I'm on your side with that. But you know it wasn't like that. You know it was like this parent saying something. He was like, oh, no, fuck that. And then they went back and forth and they did all, like, why are you talking to this guy? You have the most successful wrestler in the entire tournament in your son down there doing his thing, winning another tournament. Just chill. Chill out.
But here's the thing: it wasn't just his parents; it was other parents too. So I don't know if there was chirping from the other school's kids, and then this kid's. Like, it was like friends and family. There's a lot more still needs to be, I guess, hashed out and put
this
out.
ain't the first time this has ever happened in the history of high school sports.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
All
Not.
right.
And look, and somebody like, for example, myself, and I've had this happen to me several times before. It's like, oh, this is Bobby Lashley. If I can prod it, come on, hit me. Let me hit me. Because what's going to happen? I hit him, and then, they're going to throw the fucking book at me. You know, he's going to go after me for money. I'm going to get arrested. They're going to make an example out of me. All these different things all the way across the board. And before, when I was in WWE, I used to say this in interviews all the time. If I get in trouble, it's not Bobby Lashley gets in trouble. It's WWE wrestler Bobby Lashley. And then all the things that I did. So I'm looking bad at the company. So now the company that I work for is like, We can't trust this kid to be civil. We can't send him over here to Japan or to South Africa to go do media because if somebody ruffles his feathers, he's going to start swinging.
And this is you. You're talking about what the ramifications are for you. I'm talking about the kids. Like
Sure.
you don't want to hurt your kids, man.
Yeah.
By acting this way, by getting into fights, and it doesn't end well. People don't want to work with kids like that. We've all heard it. Like, oh man, they don't come from a good family. Their family is like no one wants to deal with. Can you imagine how bad you would feel if you held your kid back because of your inability to control your emotions? If it was like, hey man, because I've dealt with people in that situation, and I'll tell you what, they don't feel good about it. They're like, man, I would never want to. That's the worst thing. That's the worst feeling ever, knowing you hurt your kids' ability to reach their potential because of you.
Even if your kid was a bad one that was doing something down there and people were talking about him, you still got to hold your composure and not make it to the point where you're fighting in the stands. And a person that we can talk about is AJ Ferrari. Like, think about his dad. Because AJ, he's doing middle fingers and doing the splits, and he's getting into little altercations on the wrestling mat. So he's kind of already known as a bad boy. So whenever he goes to different schools, there's probably people that are going to be talking about him behind his dad. And his dad's kind of like more of a hardcore kind of dad. So if his dad's throwing punches in the stands, it not only affects AJ, but Angelo over here in Iowa, he's going to get the brunt of it because now his dad's going to carry around that, oh man, this family is like this. So, man, I'm on the side of just let people and just don't listen to them.
Yeah, some kids though, they're their own person. Like with AJ is his own individual. His younger brother Angelo just beat the number 3 kid in the country.
It was awesome.
You know, as a freshman, I'm like, that's pretty fucking impressive.
And he almost beat the number 1.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
Carter.
He had. I mean, if without
That
the
was
push-outs,
impressive, man.
I think, man, that kid. They already talking about him being a 4-timer. He's going to be but his dad's going to be in the stands of all those, and his dad's going to carry the Ferrari name's going to go with him to Iowa. The Ferrari name's going to go with him here.
Look, I think overall, just kind of to parents should not be talking to any other kids but their own. Bottom line, do not talk to the ref. We just got a notice out from my son's soccer league from USA Soccer. Do not talk to the referees. Any dialogue with the referees whatsoever, you will be asked to leave and your kid will be asked to leave. So it's not like you just leave and let the kid stay. It's you and the kid leave.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You're in a position now where you can negatively affect your kids,
especially when you pay that amount of money.
Yeah.
But then on top of it, coaches and assistant coaches do not talk to the referee as well. Players do not talk to the referee. Here with my daughters, she's on a rec team. She's 6, but they said, do not talk to the kid. Do not talk to the referees for these because they'll just walk off the field and you'll have no referee because these are high school kids doing it for free, dedicating their time to the community for the youth soccer. And they're like, parents, do not talk to the referee. If they give you a warning, the next warning will be them walking off. And I'm like, really? They're like, yeah, they're not getting paid. They're doing it as a community service to help kids get an opportunity to have more soccer games.
I like that.
I like that.
I like it because it trains them early so that they don't do it later. Because I go to some of the games right now and I see some of the parents. They have to yell about everything.
Oh, it's
yeah.
Oh,
that wasn't right. Oh, he's like this.
Hey man, we
And
play
they're,
baseball.
Like, just
there's you could argue every single play.
Yeah, every pitch. That was
and that's why there's these long signs everywhere with a bunch of rules that all say,
at all the parks.
Yes.
And then the kids
you will be removed.
Yeah.
And it could impact your kid or the team in some cases, right? As you said, because that's how they're really starting to drive this home. Is our point is, okay, you know how I'll really make you think about this? We'll punish your team and your kids on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the new threat, right?
Yeah.
That's the new punishment is we'll start punishing your kids.
Yeah, because you just ask the parent to leave, the kid still gets to play.
Yeah.
And then if you ask if the parent has to leave and you take the kid with you, now the kid's like, hey, why'd I gotta leave?
Yeah.
And now you have to explain to your kid that you're acting like an asshole.
Right.
And that's why you
and
had
like
to leave.
I said, that is the worst feeling.
Yeah.
It's one thing
It's embarrassing.
you could shake off like, I shouldn't have gotten into it with that guy. You're embarrassed for yourself, but you're going to be devastated if you realize you hurt your kid like that. That's the
embarrassing.
worst feeling. And I think that's why they built that into the new rule set of, all right, this is probably the best way we can get to these. Look, I think we're all crazy dads at a certain level in a good way. I love me a crazy dad, a passionate parent will do whatever. But man, when you start crossing that line, it's too much.
Yeah. I always tell my son is like, even when he was wrestling, wrestling is close calls. He can go hit this way or that way a lot of times. And if my son ever says anything to them, I don't care if he's even right. I'm like, no, out of the question. Because if he gives him a little point right there, then you just got to beat him by more points. That you just got to work harder.
Yeah.
So I said, and we always say, never leave it in the hands of the judges. We say that in
Yeah.
fighting also. You don't want to do it, knock his ass out, or you pin him. He's
Yeah.
like, but what if I can't? Well, then you just got to beat him by so many points that is dominant that you know that you won. Outside of that, man, and I think that's what they're doing. They're trying to train kids early because it's a problem. And there's not a problem across the board. There's an incident here where you see the big brawls. But because of that one incident, because before there was an incident in Florida, as soon as that happened in Florida, everybody implemented some different rules because they were like, we can't let this happen again. So they started doing it everywhere, and I'm okay with that.
Shit, they just had a cheerleading competition broke out into a fight. They had 20 girls on one side, 20 girls on the other on a basketball court going after. Next thing you know, they were fighting. Parents came down from the stands. They were fighting. It was done.
A cheer competition.
Yeah.
The one in Dallas. Right?
Yeah, that's the one.
And people thought there was a gun.
Yeah.
Pulled. Everyone was running out of
the convention center.
Yeah, and then they had they set up these stations where if you're missing that's the level it got to. If you're missing a loved one, call this number and here's a meetup point. Like that's terrifying.
Yeah.
And that, like you said, that started from two parents, right?
No, that started because one of the girls crossed over, started hitting the other cheerleader.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the parents came down. Yeah. It was literally like they were facing off. It was like a, like step up, like where the one cheerleading competition was trying to
it's way
instigate.
harder than any sport. I think we just discovered that.
It was a straight up stomp the yard situation.
But I think
out there.
Yeah, man. Forget
But
wrestling.
they got that from their parents, man. They got that from their parents. It's bad. I think as parents, we need to just.
Well, yeah, because when you see a hothead parent and you look at their kids, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
You know what gets me with parents and with sports like yesterday? We had Kellen played up. So Kellen's a 3-4. He plays 4th grade level lacrosse. But he played up on the 5 and the 6th grade level lacrosse yesterday. And these 6th grade kids, Rich, they're like 6'1", 6'2". My kid is literally like maybe what do you think he is? 5'2"? Not 5. He's not even 5 foot.
No.
He's not even 5 foot. He's like 4'8", I think.
Yeah.
I think he's so tiny. He literally like butt fumbled the other day. He ran into a bigger kid from behind and knocked himself over. It was so funny. I got it all on video. It's great. But just watching him play and but there was a kid on there who Kellen, their friends and everything like that, but the mom would not stop tearing her own kid down. Like he got blasted by this other kid, knocked down, like he got hit high in the cross-checked in the back of the shoulder pads, but it slid up to the back of his neck. That's dangerous, really dangerous. It was a whistle and everything. Mom is yelling at him, get your ass up, get up. I'm like, what are you doing? He just literally got hit in the back of the neck. And just like, oh, he's all right. Get up. Stop being a. I'm like, geez, man. Like, yeah. I mean, my kid got butt fumbled, and I was like wondering. I was like, are you all right? You okay?
They have like some leagues have them do parent trainings before they even start the league. If you sign your kid up for it, you have to go and do this parent training. They were doing that for a little while because in situations like that, you need to. Yeah. And you got to like as parents we have a tough job, but we got to understand it. And it's good that we talk about it because
coaches have a tough job.
Coaches have
they got to regulate those parents.
Got a real tough job dealing with us and trying to make the kids better.
And trying to make them better because
dealing with their attitudes.
Yeah.
Because those parents, the ones that have all the attitude, I've noticed that some of those kids have that attitude. Talking back to the ref, like, what do you do? What do you mean? Like my son has a problem. I don't know why. He just wants to go. He looks at the ref and he goes, really? And like he likes this whole really thing. So he's like, really? And then the rest like, yes, really, dude.
Go back to the statement that you said right before that.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
Pete, sometimes they just write themselves. They're just these jokes. They just,
Josh the gaslighter too.
yeah, I know.
oh yeah, I like to start it up. Look,
Hey, I think passion, intensity, not being a pushover. I think those are
No, he's
things
not.
that we want our kids to possess, right? You got to be tough.
Yeah.
Don't back down. But and we just can't cross that line. We've all been there.
Yeah, we had to talk to our kids. My son, I talk to my kids all the time because like last week, Miles had a track meet. He's running varsity as a sophomore in Texas. Like, bro, these kids are fast. I filmed it. It was like Miles was down here. This kid was like tall. This kid had beer and everything like that.
they are
Miles is the 16-year-old kid running against 19-year-old kids.
Yeah.
And he
Those
took
aren't
second
kids
in his
anymore,
heat.
Bobby.
No, they're not.
They're
Man.
not. So
No.
Miles was kind of been out. He was upset, but he keeps everything in. And he was just like, man, I didn't run as good as I could. So when you talk about coaches again, look what coaches have to deal with. A kid right here that has his head down, but he ran a great race against a lot older kids. Then you got the hothead kid. Then you got the kid that's winning. Then you got all these different people.
Tons
to
of
deal with.
personalities.
So as a parent, we got to start saying, "Hey, let's have this relationship with our kids. So let's have these conversations." Like when I went Miles, I said, "Man, bro, you did damn good." I said, "What's the top score? What's the top score? Let's try to work to get to that." I said, "This is a relationship between me and you, right? Okay." Track is about you getting the best time that you can get, and hopefully that's better than everybody else. But we need to improve our time. So let's do here. Let's work here. And I think if parents start doing that, it takes a little bit of stress off the coaches, and the coach doesn't have to worry about, oh, Miles just lost a race, so he's boohoo, because he knows that he's in a good position where his dad can get in his head and get him back on the right track, and not having him out there throwing a fit, throwing his shoes or anything like that. So I think parents, it's really important. So going back to that topic is like, if parents up in the stands, that's not showing a good example. You got to be a better example for your kid, so your kid knows how to.
We were talking about Dion earlier, but I think one of the things that I took away from Dion, like when he did that whole walk with his boys before the games, they would walk down to the end zone and walk back together, and they would just talk about, what they planned, what the game plan was, how proud he is of the boys. Go out there and do your best, like whatever it was. They decided to talk about it as a family. That I think that those moments right there make a big difference in your kids' lives. Like they remember those things. Like when I think back about the things with my father, I think back the things that remind me the most was family trips, road trips, or moments where we went fishing, things where we had time to talk and hang out, and we did a lot of road trips. Those are the things that I remember the absolute most, was road trips, and just having those one-on-one times. Like for me, fishing with my dad, or me, like I said, playing football with dad, or catch with dad, or going on a road trip down to the beach, whatever it was. Those moments are very special. I think that helps shape your kid on how they should react or act, to authority, whether it's a ref, whether it's a coach, whether it's, teachers, whatever. So it worked out. I mean, good moments.
Yeah, it all goes back to that conversation. Just be good parents and you have good kids.
Pretty simple, right? Be good parents.
Pretty simple. I mean, because like we talk about it. When I came and met you guys as kids for the first time, I was like, oh, that's Rich. That's Josh. As much as we try to say that our kids aren't a reflection of us, they are definitely a reflection of us.
Yeah, they're always watching us, even
They're
when we
watching
don't
us.
think they are, and they're picking these things up. So
Set a good example.
We got to guide them the right way.
All right, guys. Well, hey, we're going to wrap this up, but I also want to let you guys know, like, hey, this is really just, I know that I like to stir the pot. I like to get it all out of Bobby and Rich, both.
Bobby.
But
Especially Bobby.
But it really comes down to is it all comes back to you as a parent, how you plan on leading your kids, how you plan on being an influence for them. They look at you and they feel that that's how you want them to be. So the way you act is how they feel that you want them to be. So take a look at yourself sometimes in the mirror and just say, hey, you know what? Today I'm going to do a little bit better job, or hey, I'm doing a great job. It's okay. If you believe it, and you believe it, and go out there and prove to them that that's the way you're going to be. I think staying positive, being there for them, reinforcing their positive stuff, their positive activities, whether it's sports, whether it's good grades in school, whatever it is, singing, music, art, whatever it is. Just reinforce that you're proud of them, and have a blessed day.